Hello, everyone. I am here with Jason Bortz here at NAS Pensacola. Thank you so much for inviting us out here today.
Absolutely. Our pleasure.
Yeah, now I just want to give everyone an idea of why I'm out here with you today here on the Navy base. And it really comes down to the Greater Pensacola Chamber, the military installations in Northwest Florida all have had a long-standing relationship for a very long time, and the military affairs is extremely important to us. Mm-hmm. So we're going to start doing this on a regular basis, probably monthly, to where you'll be able to provide updates to our audience and the community who all engages with our content. And I'm really excited because it just shows the strength of the relationship that we have with the military community and installations here. Especially with the West Florida Defense Alliance. Debbie Graham, our military affairs director or VP of military affairs, has been doing an amazing job with the chamber for I think 15 years, and has really built some strong relationships with you all. Captain Kinsella is fantastic, and he really has reached out to the local Pensacola community and showing his dedication to just really being connected. So Jason, once again, thank you very much for inviting me out here to NAS Pensacola.
No, it's our pleasure. And we are so unique here in Pensacola. I have such a great relationship with not just the base, but with the community. In my career in the Marine Corps, I spent many different locations, and nothing's like Pensacola. We are one family here. So having you on board and working with the chamber to help share messages and information with the public, we're always happy to do that.
Very, very cool. Well, I know that we've got a lot of news to talk about. With the recent events that happen here at the base, there are questions that the general public always has when it comes to access. So let's go ahead and start off with that, because that's going to have a lot to do with what we talk about afterwards, which is the upcoming events here at the base. So let's start off with access. What information do you have for us about base access?
So currently the access right now is limited to those with a current DoD ID card, which is someone who either is active duty, a retiree, or who works for the government right now, or if you have what's called a Veterans Health Identification Card, and those are issued by the Department of Veterans Affairs. The caveat with the VHit cards are it has to say on that VHit card that you have that card for either a service-related disability, Purple Heart, or Medal of Honor. Right now, those are the only people that have access to the base. And we have what's called our Trusted Traveler Program. So if you have a DoD ID card, you can sponsor your families, friends, or guests, and you can bring them on the base with you. All we ask is that you just limit it to 14 people. And if you're a VHit card member and it's your first time coming onto the base, please go to the main gate first and visit our Visitor Control Center, and they'll issue a pass there. And you're also able to escort your immediate family members as well if you're a VHit card member.
All right, so I want to rehash just a little bit on the sponsoring details. Right. Okay, so 2 types of passes are able to sponsor people to come on. That's the VHit, and then what was the other one?
The DoD ID card. The DoD ID
just
card
a regular DoD.
Just a regular DoD ID card. You're allowed to bring on up to 14 guests with you, and then you have to be with them at all times. So that's the important thing. You can't just bring them onto the base, take them to the museum, and then leave them out there. You have to be with them at all times. If you're a VHit card member, you can bring on your immediate family members, such as your wife, your children, but they're limited on how many people they can bring.
Okay, great. And now with these large groups, do they need to call ahead or do any sort of coordinating, or just show up at the front gate, main gate?
There's no coordination needed as long as you're with them. Like I said, you got to arrive at the gate with them, tell them you're a DoD ID card, show your DoD ID card, and tell them how many people you're bringing on board, and as long as they're right there with you, you will have no problem.
Okay, so next question that probably most people will have with that, since there is limited base access, any news on the horizon on when that may change?
I wish we had that information, Lika. I really do. We get asked it all the time. We don't have an actual drop dead date yet as to when that decision is going to be made. And it's not a decision being made here locally by our installation. That's a decision being made by Fleet Forces, which is a higher headquarters for us. So once that decision is made, they'll push it down to us, and we will push that out. And I will be sure to let the Chamber of Commerce know when that happens, because I know everybody wants to know when that's going to happen.
Yeah, that is a big question. And I'm glad that you touched on that it's not a decision made here locally. This is really something out of NAS Pensacola's hands and out of Captain Kinsella's hands.
Right.
It's something much greater than that.
That's right.
And I know that there's always going to be questions on why and when and everything, but I also have faith that you all are going to be pushing that out as soon as you get the latest update.
We will. As soon as we have information, we'll push it out. Please continue to follow our Facebook pages, all of our social media sites, our website, the museum website, the Lighthouse website. All of those will have the updates, the most current information on there.
Well, as we're coming up to the warmer months, and that is the time when you do get people that maybe don't qualify for the current status to be able to get on base. You have the attractions, but I know you also have some events, and that's really going to depend a lot on this base access thing. So let's talk about some of these events.
Sure.
And then maybe how the base access might affect those.
That's right.
Okay.
So one of the big first events we have coming up is March 21st, which is the annual Rock and Fly race. Now that race will happen. If you are a runner in that race and you don't have one of the IDs we talked about, a DOD ID card or a VHit card, as long as you have your race registration, you can come to the main gate between 6 a.m. and 7:30 in the morning on the day of the race, and you will be granted access to take part in the race. And then following that, in this summer, we have 2 ships commissionings that we already know about. The USS Tripoli, which is going to be at the end of June, and the USS St. Louis, which will be in August. There'll be lots of events going on with that. As we get closer to that, we'll push information out and let people know how they can come partake in those events. Some of those events will be here on base. Some of those events will be out in town. And we'll be sure to share information on those. Now, the big event everybody wants to know about every single year, the air show. We have the dates for this year's air shows. It's October 16th and 17th.
Okay.
I can promise you the air show is going to happen.
Okay.
We are going to make sure that it happens. Worst case scenario, if we're still having the same issues with our problems with our access, then we will make sure that we have a special venues that day and set up, and special permissions will be in place. The air show will happen in October.
Good to know.
That's
Good
right.
to know. All right. Excellent. Well, I love that we went ahead and started off the first of our series with you all, talking about some of these special events, and then also just reminding everyone, we will continue to stay on top of the base access because that is one of the biggest questions that we have, and I know that you all get. So we'll definitely keep you all updated. And now I hear there's some rumors of maybe a special event that you don't have all the details, but you may be able to provide some teaser for it.
We're working out the details, but there's a very special event we're planning for June 2nd, and we'll get more information on that. All I can say right now is I hope the force is with us with this event, and hopefully it'll go well.
Well, you've definitely piqued my interest. I'm super excited and very curious. So everyone, thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you very much, Jason, for having us in here and attend on the base with you to get these updates. Listen, everyone, I just encourage you, you can always leave your questions and comments down at the bottom of the video, but I encourage you to go ahead and connect directly with the social media of NAS Pensacola. That will be the quickest conduit for you to be able to always stay on top of the latest updates. So thank you very much, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye.